The white jeans machine. Why is it so bad, and why do so many people complain about it on the internet? In the review section, so many people said don't buy this. Well, this machine, I ended up getting this for free from somebody that was gonna just throw it in the trash. So I wanted to take a look and see what's going on. And what tends to happen with this machine is right down here in the bobbin area, the thread will make it halfway around the bobbin and then it'll hang up. And what will happen is you'll get a bunch of loops of thread down here and the machine just jams up. And that's what was happening to me when I got the machine. So I took a closer look at what's going on in here, and let's talk about that quickly. We can take a closer look at the bobbin case area. I had to kind of do this for demonstration purposes, but the thread goes halfway around and gets hung up. Let me show you what's going on and how to remedy the problem, at least how I remedied the problem on this one. Take out your bobbin case, you just like this, pull it out. And then you're going to see these two retaining clips, one on each side. I've got the exposure on the camera cranked way up, so hopefully you can see inside here. You just click these off to the side. There's this plastic retaining piece. I've grabbed the hook so I can pull the whole thing out easily. Okay, this is your hook assembly right here. My hands are going to look pure white because I have the exposure turned way up. And this is the retaining piece that holds it in. Okay, one thing that was wrong with this piece when I received the machine was this one screw right here. Let me get a screwdriver for a pointing device. This screw was loose and this metal piece didn't follow the shape of the plastic here. It was bent up a little bit. Now that might have been caused by the people getting jams and they were like forcibly pulling on the thread and somehow thread was wrapped around this part right here and bent it. But anyway, what you want to do, if yours doesn't conform to the shape of this plastic, following this circular look here, you'll want to loosen these two screws and gently work it back into shape, or completely take it out just with your fingers. You can bend it a little bit, get it to follow this shape, and then tighten your screws back up. Don't over tighten them. This is plastic. Okay, so that was one thing. And I did take, just to make sure, burrs anywhere in this area are your enemy. So I just took some 800 grit wet dry paper and just sanded the edges of this metal to make sure everything was kind of had a better than factory finish and was polished up nicely. Okay, so that took care of this piece. And inside here you're going to see, let me do this with a screwdriver, you're going to see a U-shaped piece of plastic right here that the hook lays in. That's referred to as the driver. What you want to do is inside the driver, just take your finger and feel in there. If it feels like it's rough at all, take your sandpaper, your 800 grit sandpaper, and just go in there and gently work back and forth and then wipe it off. All you're trying to do is find any kind of this is injected molded plastic, I believe. You're going to want to go in here and just kind of polish it up better than factory. I did the same thing in the back here. I could actually see where the hook was moving back and forth, and there was one area. The silver circle in the middle might look black because I sanded this to make sure it wouldn't catch the wire. I sanded a little bit of the black finish off, but now it is super smooth in there. Get it nice and smooth. You don't have to get over aggressive with that sandpaper. Just get this all smoothened up and wipe it out. Get all your lint out of there. Get this really clean, and then you can put, I went online, found the manual for this machine. It's the white model 4040. You can put just put a little bit of sewing machine oil, let me get it in here, on your finger or on here, and just a little bit of sewing machine oil where this is going to rotate inside of the plastic. And then you can set this back in. Here you can kind of see now where I sanded inside of here. Right in this area, I just made that nice and smooth so the thread wouldn't hang up in there. You can set your hook back in like that. Then you put this retaining piece back in. As you can see now, I've got the hook back in the machine with this plastic retaining piece holding it in. There's a little slot and a aligning pin on the bottom when you put it in. And then these just, it'll look like this until you clip it in like that, and that holds it in. Then you just can go ahead and put your bobbin back in. And that worked on this machine. To get everything working again, I'll demonstrate. I have the machine all threaded up and ready to go. I've got 2 layers of denim here, and what I'll be using when sewing denim is the size 16 needle, and I'll be using just a dual duty Coats and Clark thread for this demonstration. And just go ahead and put this under here. Now bear in mind, there's people that have left reviews on the internet that this machine won't even sew 2 layers of light material, but after doing the repairs that were required, it seems to be working just fine now. I've got the upper tension on 6, and I've got my stitch length on 3, and we can do a reverse stitch. Okay, and that was 2 layers of denim without a problem. Cut that thread, make sure our threads are all the way back. And I'm going to go ahead and push it a little further. I'm going to fold this over and go with 4 layers of denim and see what the machine that's not even supposed to sew 2 layers of light material can do. Now this is sitting on a plastic folding table, so if you hear a lot of noise, that's probably why. But this is 4 layers of denim with a size 16 needle. And I'm going to try something different here. I'm just going to quickly go to a number 5 on the zigzag and a number 2 on my stitch length. Bury the needle so it gets a full rotation before it starts sewing. And there we are. 4 layers of denim. Reverse. Alright, let's take a look and see what we ended up with. Alright, there is I want to make sure it stays in focus. There's the front, and there's the back. The stitches are all pulled nice and tight, and there's the 4 layers of denim. And there you have it. If you have one of these machines, don't throw. I also did go ahead and service the rest of the machine. Oops, I just knocked the foot off. You can take 1 screw out of the side here and get this plate off so that you can clean all in this area. And if you want to go even further and pull the entire back plastic off the machine, you'll have to take out these 2 screws just to get this needle plate out of the way. It makes it easier to get this back piece off. And then just look around. You'll have to take off 2 rubber feet in the back, 2 screws on top, a few screws on the bottom, and this whole back, if you very gently can pull it straight out, and then you can get at all the other mechanism. But if you don't want to go quite that in depth with it, and you're having problems with the thread binding up in the bobbin area, just go ahead and try what I told you to do in the beginning of the video here, and you should be good to go. Alright, as always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. See ya.